Carolina. For tonight, Dean Smith's #1 ranked Tar Heels try for their 18th straight victory as they host the Clemson Tigers in another ACC basketball matchup. The Tar Heels ranked #1 in both major wire service polls this year, but they have lost the service as a freshman point guard, Kenny Smith, for at least a month with a broken left wrist. It happened Sunday in a game against LSU as Smith went for the dunk toward the end of the game. John Tudor fouled him. Smith hit the floor hard. The broken left wrist will keep him out for at least 1 month. His place will be taken tonight by sophomore guard Steve Hale. He's 6'3", a sophomore out of Jenks, Oklahoma. Hasn't played that much this year, but is third on the team with 33 assists, a steady player, a good, solid shooter. Tonight, the Tar Heels look to Steve Hale for the leadership in the absence of Kenny Smith. Clemson, no stranger to injuries. Both David Schaffer and Vince Hamilton have suffered a broken foot this year, and Anthony Jenkins is trying to take up the slack. He was torrid last weekend with 26 points and 5 assists against Duke, but unfortunately, it came at a losing cause. Duke spearing a rebound. As Clemson made a last try to tie the game, Johnny Dawkins runs out the clock. Duke won at 67-65, and the Clemson woes continue. The Tigers, coached by Bill Foster. North Carolina by Dean Smith. Tonight in ACC basketball, it's the Tigers against the Tar Heels. ACC basketball.
65 of those games, Bill Foster had at least one starter out with an injury, which is really hard to conceive. There's not a lot he can do about it because they've been quality players, and he doesn't have the type of depth that Carolina has to put a new man in there.
And this team, Clemson, now has lost 4 ball games in a row. You have the feeling here tonight that they need a good outing for themselves, if for no other reason. Tonight, they go against the #1 ranked team in the country. Again, we have North Carolina and Clemson set to match up in the Greensboro Coliseum. We'll be back to meet the starting lineups right after. First for Bill Foster's Clemson Tigers. Starting at 1 forward, Anthony Jenkins, usually instant offense off the bench, scored 26 as a starter last Saturday. The other forward, 6'8" freshman Horace Grant out of Sparta, Georgia. The center is 6'6" senior Murray Jarman from Delray Beach, Florida, averaging 15 points a game. At one guard, Chris Michael, a 6'5" sophomore, and the other guard for Clemson, Mark Campbell, will get the start tonight. Campbell, a 6'2" senior from Elizabethton, Tennessee. Now the starting lineup for North Carolina's Tar Heels. Here's how Dean Smith sends them out tonight. Matt Doherty goes at 1 forward, the 6'8" senior from East Meadow, New York. The other forward, Sam Perkins, the 6'9" senior from Latham, New York, averaging 18 points, 10 rebounds a game. Brad Doherty's at center, the 6'11" sophomore from Black Mountain, North Carolina. At the guard, Steve Hale will start at the point tonight, the 6'3" sophomore, replacing Kenny Smith, and Michael Jordan's the other guard, a 6'6" junior, averaging 17 points a game. There are your starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll be back right after this.
Here in the first half, we'll move to the south goal in Greensboro. He drops it off to Campbell. Campbell down the right sideline against Carolina's man-to-man. Knocked away. Hale into the hands of Jordan. Right back to Hale it comes, and the Tar Heels are coming quickly to the north end of the building. Doherty into the right corner to Hale. Now it comes to Perkins, top of the circle. Clemson man-to-man. Hale underneath to Jordan. Great pass by Hale to the wide open Michael Jordan, and it's 2-0 in favor of Carolina. We played 30 seconds in the gate city of the Piedmont. Mark Campbell picked up in the backcourt by Michael Jordan. Pulls up just left of the circle. Goes down the sideline now to Jenkins. Gets it right back. Campbell to the top of the circle. Off to Chris Michael. Jump shot just barely touched the side of the rim. Jordan comes out with a rebound for Carolina. He drops it off to Hale. Hale will take it quickly to the right of the circle. Now into the midcourt area. He's calling out the #3 offense. Hits Brad Doherty at the wing. Perkins cuts through the lane. Goes to Matt Doherty, top of the circle. Jordan tried to cut back door. Matt couldn't get the ball to him. Comes to Brad Doherty, standing top of the circle. Over on the wing now to Hale. Hale high lob inside to Sam. Sam loops it back to Steve Hale. Goes back inside to Matt Doherty. Pushes it back to Jordan. Jump shot from left of the lane, no good. Brad Doherty is there. Follows up, won't go. Tap follow, no good. They battle for it. Matt Doherty had it. Lost it. It's recovered by Murray Jarman for Clemson. Off it goes to Campbell. Cross-court pass on the left side to Jenkins, coming down in front of the Tar Heel bench. Inside to Jarman, knocked back to Jenkins. Jump shot, left corner, no good. Jordan one-handing the rebound. Almost lost it, but recovered at the right baseline. He gets it to Hale. Hale driving right of the circle. Drops it off to Doherty in the corner. Gets it right back. He'll reset the Tar Heel offense in the midcourt area. Clemson in a man-to-man defense. Campbell has got the defensive job on Hale. Hale controls again near the left corner. Comes to Doherty, top of the circle. Now to Jordan on the right. Low to Brad Doherty. Back to Michael Jordan. Looking inside the man-to-man. Perkins, top of the circle. Now to Hale on the left. Pushes it inside to Brad Doherty. To Matt Doherty. Steve Hale. Hale will come to the foul line. Fakes. Pushes it back out to Jordan just on the right. 2-0 Carolina. Here's Brad Daugherty. Turnaround, right baseline is good. Heels break to a 4-0 lead in the first 2 minutes and 5 seconds of play.
Well, Murray Jarman can sky with that 6'11", over 6'6" height advantage that Brad Daugherty has over Murray Jarman is going to be a problem for Clemson tonight unless they really can do something to keep Brad away from the board.
Pass intended for Jarman, off the glass, recovered inside by Grant. No good. Brad Daugherty's got the rebound. To Hale, now to Matt Daugherty coming down on the right. They drop off of him. Matt fires, rimmed out, wouldn't go. Tapped in the lane. Chris Michael away with the rebound, and Brad Daugherty picks up the foul. Henry, you were talking about Murray Jarman. The 6'6" senior from Delray Beach, Florida's got a 42-inch vertical jump, the best on the Clemson team, so he plays about like he's 6'11" with that jump. 17.5 to play here in Greensboro in the first half. At halftime tonight, Fred Barakat, the ACC supervisor of officials, will be with Henry Hinton, and we'll also have an Ask Woody question about Carolina's all-time leading scorer since Sam Perkins is number 6. There's a special timeout down at the scorers table, and John Clockerty, the referee, is there, and I think it's maybe something about the basketball. I'm not sure. Coach Dean Smith said something about wanting to use a different ball. That hearty laugh you hear is coming from Bradley Faircloth at the scorers table. Bradley is normally the supervisor of football officials for the ACC, but that's Dean Smith conversing with Bill Foster about the basketball and whatever they laugh. Once on this very playing floor in a national championship game between Marquette and North Carolina State, the Marquette players stopped play. Henry said the ball was too slick. Al McGuire screamed down and said, "What do you mean it's too slick?" Said, "You play with it in the rain and everything on the playground. Now you get in front of 15,000 people in a national television audience, and the ball's too slick." We got a whistle and a foul called on Carolina. And it's on Matt Daugherty of the Heels. It'll be his first. That's the second team foul against Carolina. Clemson gets the ball at the baseline. It'll be Mark Campbell who'll make the inbounds play.
They've changed balls now, Woody. They threw the other one back to Coach Smith. He stuck it under his chair.
Chris Michael controlling against the Tar Heel zone. To Campbell in the midcourt area. For the blue-shirted Tigers of Bill Foster. Campbell moving now to the left sideline in front of the Heel bench to Michael. Now he drops it away to Anthony Jenkins. Look low for Grant. Can't get him the ball. Now back to Michael. Michael straddled the hash mark to Campbell. Pushes it away on the bounce to Jenkins. Gives in the corner now to Grant. Back it goes to Jenkins. Campbell bounces inside to Jarman. Jarman turns on Perkins. Shot blocked. Perkins comes down with a rebound. For Sam, that's his 34th block shot of the year. 4-0 Carolina. We played better than 3 minutes in Greensboro. Back to Jordan. Jump shot. 20 feet. Count it. 6-0. Michael with 4 of the 6. Brad Daugherty has the other 2 on a right baseline turnaround jumper. 16.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Campbell against Jordan. Bounces away down to Jenkins. Caught up in the suffocating double team. Gets it away over to Michaels. Now it's back to Campbell. Faked it. Jordan was there. Now Campbell will take it. No. Triple team. We got a whistle and a foul. Foul's on Michael Jordan. The Wilmington junior picks up his first. That'll be the 3rd team foul against the Heels, according to Gerald Donahue, who made the call.
So far, Clemson hadn't had the opportunity to really push the ball down court, but as Bill Foster said in the pregame tonight, Woody, Clemson would like to really try to really control the tempo and make it a fast-tempoed ball game. They have a considerable height disadvantage against Carolina, so they think that one of their big chances to win the game is to get Carolina running the ball. But, you know, Carolina's not too bad. It's a transition game either.
Jenkins left of the circle. Controls for Clemson at the south end of the Coliseum floor. Bounces inside to Jarman. Jarman turns on Brad Daugherty. No basket. He traveled with it and turns it over. Second turnover for the Tigers. Bill Foster's up applauding his team's patience as the Tigers come back down floor to set up defensively. It'll be Steve Hale who'll get it front court against Mark Campbell. The Jinx Oklahoma sophomore turns, now goes back to his left. Indicates he wants the number 1 offense run this time down floor. Goes to Daugherty at the right wing. Perkins cutting through, catches a high lob pass, powers up, scores. Sam Perkins has his first field goal. It's 8-0. So far, the Tar Heels are pitching a shutout in Greensboro. Nobody has reached first base as yet. Campbell goes inside to Jarman. Turnaround off the glass. No good. Jordan with another rebound. He dazzled the crowd as he just brought his body back and forth in the air as he clutched that rebound. Hale in the left corner from Daugherty. Back to Matt Daugherty. Looked inside. Now will take one dribble to the top of the circle. High lob to Brad Daugherty. Started to push it back. Instead works baseline, and there's a whistle. And the foul's either on Campbell, who was behind him, or Jarman, who was in front of him. And Gerald Donahue says it's going to be on Mark Campbell. It'll be his first and the Tigers' first. And right now, these two teams are going to sit down and talk about this first 4 minutes and 40 seconds of play. One substitution made. Jordan is out for Carolina, and Buzz Peterson, the junior from Asheville, North Carolina, has come in. He receives the inbounds pass from Hale along the left sideline. Gets it to Matt Doherty. Clemson now has gone to a 1-3-1 zone as Carolina plays it on the wing. It's more of a matchup zone. Gets it right back. Perkins does to Hale. Hale drops it back to the baseline to Perkins now. One dribble, then to Hale. Hale looking inside, goes to Brad Doherty, out to Matt Doherty, to Buzz Peterson in the left corner. Buzz drops it back to Steve Hale at the foul line, passed inside to Perkins, and Perkins was sliding backwards, and they called him for traveling, and the officials did. Dave Dodge and John Clockerty both moving in and sounding on their whistles, but I think they said Carolina committed its first turnover because he was sliding back. I'm not sure he put the ball to the floor at all, but at least he kept his feet on the floor. I guess he was just in the process of sliding, Henry.
So far, Michael Jordan has 4 rebounds in the ball game.
Jarman lays it up from the right side. Gets Clemson's runners first bucket of the ball game, and it's 8-2. And it took the Tigers better than 5 minutes to come across with points. Brad Doherty at the left wing for the Tar Heels now to Buzz Peterson. Back door, Matt Doherty. Peterson can't get him the ball. Now he comes back, goes to Brad Doherty. Inside to Matt Doherty, pushes it up. It goes, and he's fouled. It's on Horace Grant. 6'8" freshman out of Sparta, Georgia, picks up his first foul. Great movement that time without the ball. Matt Doherty tried to get the backdoor pass, couldn't, came back, took it right of the lane, gave it back to Peterson, then got a return pass and was able to muscle his way up against Grant and bank it off the glass even though he was fouled.
Nice pass also by Brad Doherty. Matt puts the free throw through.
And the ball is stolen by Hale on the inbound pass. 11-2. Carolina coming up with its third turnover of the ball game. And Doherty will drive on Grant. No, dumps it off to Perkins. Perkins moving. Tried to feed it back to Doherty. Knocked away. Recovered by Campbell. That's Carolina's second turnover. Campbell lead to Michael coming down on the right. Jump shot. Good by Chris Michael. His first field goal of the game. 11-4. Carolina by 7. Jordan reports to the scorer's table, getting ready to come back in on the next dead ball. Hale to Perkins at the wing in front of the Clemson bench. To Brad Doherty, now to Steve Hale. Hale looking inside, comes to Peterson. High lob to Perkins, laid it up off the glass. Nice pass by Peterson to Sam Perkins for his second field goal. Perkins has now gone over 1,900 points in his career as Carolina's sixth leading all-time scorer. We'll answer an Ask Woody question at halftime about Carolina's all-time leading scorer. Grant in the corner to Jenkins, back out to Campbell. Top of the circle against Hale. Carolina man-to-man. Here's Campbell dropping it off to Jarman on the left. Brad Doherty with a windmill defense on him. Jarman knocked away Hale, and it belongs to Carolina, says Gerald Donahue. With that, Michael Jordan returns for the Heels, and Joe Wolf, the freshman from Kohler, Wisconsin, will replace Brad Doherty as Clemson commits its fourth turnover.
I was talking about Jordan's 4 rebounds. Carolina's out-rebounding Clemson 6-2 right now in the ballgame. One interesting point, Woody, even though they've lost those last 4 games, especially in the last 3, and they have a considerable height disadvantage to most teams in this conference, Clemson has not been out-rebounded badly in the last couple of games. Matter of fact, the 3 games they've lost, they were only out-rebounded by 2 in the total of the 3 games.
Alley-oop to Jordan for the slam dunk. Well, Dean Smith was wondering whether or not the alley-oop would be there because of the chemistry that Kenny Smith had developed. Well, Buzz Peterson lofted above the rim perfectly for Michael Jordan. 15-4. Jarman gives it up to Campbell. Jump shot, 20 feet off the front of the rim, no good. Grant and Jarman run together. It's Grant coming away with it. Hale picks up the personal foul. Hale bumped him as Grant was coming down with the basketball, and the foul on Hale is his first, and it will be the 4th team foul against Carolina. Nobody as yet has got more than 1. So Clemson gets the ball out of bounds in front of the Carolina bench. Michael into Campbell. Campbell against the double team, goes to Grant, to Michael, jump shot, left corner, bit too strong, rebounded Jarman. He'll power right back up and scores. Murray Jarman, good offensive move, makes it 15-6 Carolina.
Well, you can see right then how Jarman can get off the floor with that 42-inch vertical leap. He's really 6'7", but like you say, Woody, he plays like he's 6'11".
Peterson bounces low to Jordan. Reverse layup is good. The door was closed on the left. Michael took it underneath and flipped it in backwards on the right side. Jordan's got 8, 17-6 Carolina. Campbell across the timeline. Popson, who's in the lineup now, double teaming with Peterson to Jenkins. Jordan slaps it away off the glass out of bounds. Jordan deflected the ball out of Jenkins' hands from behind him. The ball went off the glass and ricocheted off the board out of bounds.
Was that a shot?
Was that a shot? You hear the official score hollering. I don't think so. Michael to Jenkins in the left corner. Now to Campbell. Bounces it to Grant. Grant feeds inside to Jarman. Ball knocked away. Peterson comes up with it. Ball kicked down on the floor. Campbell, Peterson, Grant, Hale are all there. Ball loose. Peterson had it. Now it's picked up by Jordan. Jordan, a reverse dribble, gets it across the timeline. 5 turnovers for Clemson. 17-6 Carolina. An 11-point Carolina lead with 11:45 to play in the half. Hale, top of the circle, away to Buzz Peterson. Alley-oop to Clemson! My goodness, Buzz Peterson has got 3 assists on alley-oops. 19-6 Carolina. 11.5 minutes to play in the half. Bill Foster with only 3 timeouts. He could probably use one. He's a little reluctant to call it. Michael from out on the left knocks the bottom out of it for the Tigers. The Rutherford, North Carolina sophomore was a 2-year teammate of Vince Hamilton before prepping at Fort Union with teammate Warren Wallace. Got that score. It's 19-8. Carolina again by 11 to Popson. Popson couldn't catch the ball, but he kept it back to Peterson, who drills one from the left corner. Buzz Peterson. I noticed him tonight shooting during practice, Henry, as he makes it 21-8. His jump shot appeared to be a little more fluid and was going in a great deal of the time.
Boy, it's good to see Buzz get that one, too, as the ball's knocked out of bounds. Buzz has been through a couple of bad weeks here, and he's had a few feelings. Of course, he had some sickness in his family, and he's had a few personal problems, and he feels like he's got worked out now, Woody. And sometimes when that happens, it really comes back, and the fluid motion that you need and the emotion that you need to play this ball game will come back to you. It looks like
all right, Hunter Chevrolet, Volvo, and Subaru to Asheville Highway in Hendersonville with the first big sale of 1984.
The Tar Heels have their biggest lead, 21-8 with 10:49 left in the first half. We'll deal a little bit more with the Buzz Peterson story in a moment, but right now, Warren Wallace is in the game for Clemson. He inbounds the ball to Campbell, to Jenkins, now to Jarman, over to Wallace. Wallace on the right wing goes inside to Jarman, turnaround off balance, no basket, and there's a whistle. And let's see, John Clockerty is coming out with a foul. It's been called on the Tar Heels, Dave Hobson. It'll be his first and the 5th team foul. Henry, what Buzz Peterson was saying as Murray Jarman goes to the line was that he had a lot of personal problems. He had an aunt and a brother-in-law, both of whom were ill. He was having some personal problems at school. He was in a shooting slump. Jarman makes good on his first one, so he just left on Monday, went home to Asheville. Dean Smith called him that night, and he told him he was coming back. He had every intention to come back. He just needed to go home for a while. And so he did, came back. He watched the Wake Forest-Carolina game on television, told me later, said, I watched it on TV, Woody, but I listened to it on the radio. In the dorm room with a couple of friends, he said, boy, you really do get excited, don't you? And I said, you bet. And so he said he fully expected to not be allowed to dress for a game, but Coach Dean Smith said yesterday he really had no intention of ever doing that. That would probably have not come out had Buzz not elected to talk about it. Inside, Brad Daugherty, turn around 10 feet from Buzz Peterson. 23-10. We had touched on that, and I wanted to go ahead and clear it up for you while we were talking. 23-10, Carolina by 13.
Tar Heels have hit their last 9 shots in a row. They're red hot, 11 of 14, Woody, almost 80% shooting.
Jarman turns off the left baseline, no good. Popson and Brad Daugherty are there, and it's Daugherty coming up with it. Away to Peterson. Peterson down on the left side, goes to Matt Daugherty at the foul line. Matt turns. Now we'll back to the top of the circle. Gives to Peterson deep in the right corner to Dave Popson. Popson bounces inside to Jordan. Back to Peterson. Jump shot. Right corner. Good!
All right.
Buzz has hit 2 in a row. Goodbye, shooting slump. Get thee behind me.
And that is now 10 shots in a row. The Tar Heels have thrown up and has ripped that net open.
25-10. Good many of them have been pretty high percentage. Here was Raymond Jones. Wide open underneath. Campbell fed him a bounce pass. Jones, the 6'8 junior from Union, South Carolina, couldn't control it. Went out of bounds, and for Clemson, that's turnover number 6. You know, Henry coming in with Carolina leading 25-10 now, 9:36 to play in the half. Bill Foster was really unsure how much Jones would play. He's had back problems, and he spent the last couple of days in the training room and hasn't worked at all, but he's in the lineup right now. Jordan on the right wing. Fakes the alley-oop to Daugherty. Gives it to Buzz Peterson. Bounces low to Brad Daugherty. Hook shot, no good. Perkins is there, scores, and he's fouled. Carolina is just literally dominating the boards at both ends of the floor. Gerald Donahue coming out on the call, and it's on Raymond Jones. It'll be his first. That is the 3rd team foul, and what a round of applause for Buzz Peterson as he leaves the floor. not only his assist, but his 2 for 2 from the floor. Sam Perkins has just picked up his 6th point of the game, and he'll have a chance for the Tar Heels' 2nd three-point play of the night. Carolina's 2nd all-time leading rebounder, 6th all-time leading scorer, but he missed his free throw. 27-10, Carolina by 17. Warren Wallace picked up in the backcourt by Hale. Gets it across the timeline on the left. Breaks his dribble. Now goes to Campbell on the right. Campbell faked, and you don't fake Jordan but once, because by the time you get ready to pull the trigger the second time, he's there. Inside it goes to Clemson. The shot is missed by Campbell from outside. He had fed the ball inside to Glenn McCants and gotten it back for the jump shot. Rebounded by the Heels. Now at the offensive end of the floor, Perkins to Matt Doherty. Matt breaks his dribble, looks inside to Perkins, goes to Brad Doherty. Brad fakes the inside pass. Now he gives it up to Jordan. Jordan reached over somebody to take it and scores off the baseline. It was Anthony Jenkins. He reached over to catch the ball and then worked baseline, and as Jenkins fell to the floor after failing to get the ball, Jordan knocks in his 10th point, and it's 29-10. Carolina by 19.
8 unanswered points by the Tar Heels, making another run.
Campbell out of the left corner scores for Clemson. Mark Campbell with his first field goal. 29-12 with 8:15 showing. That's in the first half. Fred Bearcat, ACC Supervisor of Officials, joins Henry at halftime to talk about flagrant fouls. We've seen a couple of them in the last spurt of action over the weekend. Brad Doherty, foul line, good. Front rim, back rim. Brad's got his 6th point of the game. 31-12, Carolina by 19. Dean Smith is calling on Joe Wolf. Bill Foster's getting ready to send Mike Epley, Horace Grant, Murray Jarman in. It'll be Epley's first appearance. Here's Wallace from out of the right corner. Good. Warren Wallace has got his first bucket of the ball game, and it's 31-14. Carolina to the other end. Jordan goes baseline. Feeds to Matt Doherty. Brad Doherty, foul line. Got it. 8 points for the Black Mountain sophomore, 33-14. 7.5 minutes. I'll tell you, the Tar Heels are really putting some numbers on the stat sheet.
Well, I don't know if Clemson could do anything anyway.
Intercepted Carolina. Long lead to Jordan. Tripped up by Campbell. He can't catch up with it. It was not an intentional trip. Campbell just stepped on the back of his foot, but I thought we might have got a call because it really did sort of place Jordan at a disadvantage, and Dean Smith asking Gerald Donahue about it, but Donahue just motions his hand up as if to say, hey, Coach, no call. Taken by Michael. It was an air ball, goes over the inline out of bounds. It'll belong to Carolina. 33-14, Carolina, and the Heels take possession.
I'll get ready to say maybe our statistician Bob Woodruff should start keeping stats on how Carolina does with the Rawlings as opposed to the Spalding out there. They're doing pretty good with whatever it's got written on it tonight.
Doherty to Joe Wolf, gets it right back. Jump shot, 8 feet, good. Matt Doherty has got 5 now, and it's 35-14. Boy, the Tar Heels are blistering the cords.
15 of their last 16 shots, Woody, and they're 17 for 21 in the ball game, while Clemson's shooting poorly at 6 for 16, 38%.
Michael drops it to Grant out front for the blue-clad Tigers of Clemson. They don't wear those blue uniforms very much because they did not win with them until earlier this year. Michael to Wallace, now over to Epley. Mike Epley, the Tiger quarterback from Harding High School in Charlotte, 6'2" seniors in the game. Shot put up by Wallace, blocked. We get goaltending. Bucket will count by Wallace. Joe Wolf called for touching it. Warren Wallace gets his 2nd field goal, 35-16.
How efficient can you be? Bob Woodruff has just handed me these stats, Woody, which are very interesting. Carolina shot 2 of 5 with a Spalding basketball, 15 of 16 with a Raleigh. Are you serious about this, Woodruff?
Sure he is. Wolf to Hale, now to Perkins, now to Doherty. Back it goes to Perkins, muscles in against Grant and scores. Got behind him, and Sam has 8, 37-16. Carolina by 21. Here's Wallace on the drive, lays it up off the glass. Good offensive drive by Warren Wallace from East Mecklenburg High in Charlotte. The bucket will count. There's a foul on the play. It's going to be on Wallace for the charge. The bucket counts, but Wallace picks up the foul in the process. When I said good drive, I was talking about the way he filtered his way through the Carolina defense. He just didn't get by that last man who was in his path at the bucket. 37-18 the score. Carolina will inbound the ball. Clemson's applying pressure in the backcourt. Cecil Exum has come in the ball game now for Carolina, so it's Hale, Brad Doherty, Sam Perkins, Michael Jordan, and Cecil Exum. Clemson's got Mike Epley, Horace Grant, Murray Jarman, Chris Michael, and Warren Wallace. Here's Jordan, and he's fouled by Mike Epley. Epley commits the personal foul. It'll be his first. And that should be the 5th team foul against Clemson. Carolina also with 5 team fouls, and nobody on either side has more than one.
Bill Foster has continued to shuffle players in and out of the lineup, trying to get that just right combination on the floor. Woody, he has not been able to get it so far tonight, even though Clemson has picked up the pace just a little bit. But, Clemson, Michael Jordan makes his first free throw, by the way. Clemson has not had a superstar all year. Vincent Hamilton had superstar qualities. Murray Jarman does. But the whole team is really a team. They play as a team, and they don't have a guy who's a superstar. Michael makes the second one. But right now, he's having trouble getting that combination to get the flow of the game going Clemson's way. But the way Carolina's playing, I'm not sure there's anything he could do anyway.
39-18. Here's Grant off the glass against Doherty, who was knocked down, but Grant gets the bucket with no foul on the play. 39-20. 5:15 to play in the half. Hale against Epley across the timeline against Grant. Caught in the double team, whips it away to Perkins. Perkins moving left to the circle toward the sideline. Now drops it on the bounce pass to Brad Doherty. Gets it right back. Drives through traffic. Missed the shot. Deflected out of bounds. Went off Sam Perkins, says Gerald Donahue. It'll be Clemson's basketball. Chris Michael and Mike Epley will inbound the ball, and it's Epley who'll get the ball front court. Mike has had trouble with his knees in the past, particularly his left one. Wears a brace on that left knee. Bounce pass to Jarman. Low post. Jump shot off the baseline is good. Jarman with 8 points. 39-22. Carolina's lead is 17. Steve Hale in the backcourt. Gets it to Brad Doherty. Threw it high. Brad had to jump to catch it just across the timeline. Now to Hale. Hale with Epley on him. Calling out the offense. Moving now to the left. Drops it away to Brad Doherty. Now comes to Exum. Top of the circle. Backdoor. Jordan layup glass. Good pass. Cecil Exum. Michael Jordan for his 14th point. 41-22. Michael down on the left side. To Epley. Inside to Jarman. Knocked away. Brad Doherty comes away with it. Long lead to Hale. Caught it. Layup good. Steve Hale with his first bucket. 43-22 for Clemson. 8 turnovers. And I'm not so sure the Tar Heels haven't converted on just about every Clemson turnover. 4:05 left to play in the half, and the clock running down. Fred Bearcat, ACC Supervisor of Officials, joins us at halftime. We'll answer an Ask Woody question. You got a sports question that we might like to answer on the air? Call me anytime, day or night, at 919-933-9000. Here's Epley coming to the right corner, faking, hands it back to Jarman. Turnaround, good. Murray Jarman. Jarman's got 10 of Clemson's 24 points, 43-24. Jarman's been in double figures the last 8, and he's in double figures now for the 9th straight game.
Clemson picking up the pace. They've hit 7 of their last 8 shots, Woody.
Ball thrown away at the baseline. Brad Doherty tried to go to Cecil Exum, right through his hands. Peterson returns for Carolina after the Tar Heels commit their 4th turnover. Matt Doherty is back, but right now an official timeout will be taken in Greensboro. So, there's a timeout on the floor with 3:29 to play in the first half, and the score, Carolina 40. Well, for the first 5 minutes and 22 seconds of this ball game, the Tar Heels were pitching a shutout tonight. Then Clemson finally got on the board, but Carolina has simply been building on its early 8-0 lead. It got as many as 21, and Henry, it's now 19 at 43-24.
Last 5 minutes been good basketball, Woody, including Clemson, who's hit 7 of their last 8 shots. They're shooting exactly 50% for the game. Carolina, 20 of 25. They've hit 18 of their last 20, but the Tar Heels now shooting 80%. Both teams picking up the pace shooting the ball right now.
Jenkins left baseline, knocked away Perkins, recovered by Matt Doherty. 9 turnovers now for Clemson. Off to Buzz Peterson. Jump shot right baseline. Would not go down. They batted around, and it's Perkins who comes out with it. He was bumped by Epley, but recovered at the wing on the left side. To Matt Doherty. Now to Buzz Peterson. 43-24. Carolina by 19 with under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Brad Doherty to Michael Jordan. To Matt Doherty. Now Doherty will go behind the Jordan pick. Drops it back to Michael Jordan. Jump shot from out on the right is no good. Epley with the rebound for Clemson. Here come the Tigers of Bill Foster on the run to the south end of the Greensboro Coliseum. Epley to Jenkins, and Anthony Jenkins gets his first basket of the game. 43-26. Jenkins coming off a 36-point effort against Duke on Saturday night and a 2-point Tiger loss. Brad Doherty from 17 feet at the other end for the Tar Heels. Doherty's got 10, 45-26. Carolina again by 19. Epley looking to head coach Bill Foster as he crosses the timeline. Epley's got 1 more year of football eligibility remaining. Says he might even like to try to play some baseball. Stolen. Michael Jordan to Buzz Peterson. Peterson working into the left corner. Bounces inside to Brad Doherty. Ball knocked loose by Jarman. Finally recovered by Jenkins. 5 turnovers Carolina. 45-26. Epley down the left side. Jump shot from the left wing is no good. Rebounded by Jordan. Heels coming on the run. Cross-court pass to Matt Doherty. Made a nice catch of the ball. Pulls up, feeds Perkins off the glass. Won't go, and he's fouled. I believe it is Chris Michael. Gerald Donahue coming out from underneath with the call. No, it's going to be Horace Grant. And it will be number 2 on the Sparta, Georgia freshman. The 6th-team foul against Clemson, and Perkins will shoot 2 as Joe Wolf replaces Brad Doherty, and Steve Hale has come back in for Michael Jordan.
Interesting to see the approach that Clemson's taken to this ball game, Woody. They're not really forcing the tempo like I thought they would. I thought they'd come out and really run up and down the floor with Carolina, but they're not. They really haven't had an opportunity to get their transition game working that much, but it seems like even when they've had the opportunity, they've come down, set it up, tried to work the ball around, and, you know, right now Carolina taking them to the cleaners on that philosophy.
Perkins now with 9. He's 1 of 2 at the line. Sam's had double-figure games in his last in 8 outings this year and 6 of his last 7. By that I mean he was double-figure scoring and double-figure rebounding. In the last 10, he's averaged better than 20 points a game and better than 10 rebounds. He and Jordan have been awesome. Ball knocked away. Perkins hit both his free throws. It's 47-26, and Carolina comes up again with a turnover. Here's Perkins, foul line to Matt Doherty, now to Steve Hale. Loops inside to Joe Wolf, knocked back to Peterson, but there's a foul called on Mike Epley for knocking it away from Joe Wolf. The foul on Epley will be number 2, and it'll be the 7th team foul. That's 11 turnovers now for Clemson after losing that ball a moment ago in the backcourt.
You know, the tough thing about that, too, Mike Epley was just kind of dribbling the ball up court, kicked it off his foot, Woody, and that's been the problem with Epley. We talked about it on the road. He just has not played good basketball on the road, and that's exactly why he didn't start tonight. Mark Campbell got the nod instead of him, and although Epley is a good ball handler, it seems as though he gets a little nervous on the road, and when he's playing in opponents' gymnasiums and coliseums, it kind of he tenses up a bit. It does not have that game that he needs to have.
Joe Wolf misses his second free throw after making the first. It's 48-26. Heels with their biggest lead of 22. Epley across the timeline against Peterson. Now to Jenkins. Hales up in his face. Goes low to Jarman. Turns. Shoots over Perkins and Wolf. Missed it. It was an air ball, I believe. Rebounded by Doherty. Peterson had it. Lost it. Recovered Epley. Here's Epley down against Doherty. He'll use the glass. Good. Mike Epley gets his first field goal. 48-28. The Heels lead it by 20. We've got a 1:05 left to play in the first half. Fred Bearcat joins us at halftime. Stay tuned for that. Peterson at the right wing. Alley-oop to Perkins. Came down. We got a whistle and the foul on Horace Grant. It will be his third. Horace Grant, who has a twin brother, Harvey, who's being redshirted this year, comes up with his third personal foul with 55 seconds remaining in the first half. And he will send Sam Perkins to the line with a big guy out of Latham, New York. But Sam says now call his hometown Brooklyn. Said he moved back over the holidays. Will go to the free throw line for 1-1.
Horace Grant's been prone to foul trouble. He has fouled out of the last 2 games against Duke and Georgia Tech. He's on the bench now with 3 fouls before halftime, and that's kind of hurt the Clemson Tigers in the second half with him at 6'8", Woody. But I think Sam Perkins just a little bit too tough for the freshman to handle right now.
Jordan's got 14. Perkins has got 11. Doherty's got 10 here in the first half for Carolina. Pretty balanced for the Heels. Here's Perkins' chance to get 12, and he's got it. 50-28 the score. Carolina leading by 22 again with 50 seconds to play in the half. Hale and Peterson double-team Epley in the backcourt. He's in trouble. Offensive foul on Epley as both Hale and Peterson hit the floor.
But who'd he foul, Woody? They both went down simultaneously.
It's a player control foul. Won't really make any difference because nobody shoots free throws on this. Epley's foul is his third, coming with 46 seconds. Listen, there was nobody in the backcourt but those 3 guys, 2 Carolina players and Mike Epley, and it was amazing. When he tried to split the double team with his body, Hale and Peterson both hit the floor with their backs like that. Carolina in 4 corners, waiting on 1 shot. Peterson leaning in as he moves left of the circle against Michael. Got it to Perkins. Now to Hale. Drops it to Joe Wolf. Layup no good. Tap ball no good. Clemson comes away with it. Jenkins off to Epley with 22 seconds to go. 50-28. Here's Epley. Lost it, intended for DeCamps. Couldn't hold it. Peterson coming down on the left. He'll take it all the way. Lays it up good with 13 seconds left to go. Buzz Peterson with 6. 52-28. 5, 4. In the corner to Jenkins. Jump shot. Good with 1 second. Anthony Jenkins knocks the bottom out of it as the teams head for the dressing room. But it'll not come anywhere close to catching the Tar Heels as Carolina thoroughly dominated first half play from the very opening tap and goes to the dressing room with a 22-point lead.
Work by Michael Jordan. And here now are the Hardys' halftime stats. And look at North Carolina's shooting percentage. That is not a record. They shot 76 7/10% for a whole game against Virginia in 1978, but they only took 43 shots in that game.
What's amazing, only 6 turnovers, shooting 72%, and they've just handled the ball so well as a club. Clemson shooting 52%, which is not bad for the first half. Showed some patience on their part.
North Carolina not only winning the war, but they've won every skirmish in this war also. They're winning every statistical department. Listen to this. As Carolina turns it over, Matt Doherty's from the floor, 2 for 3. Perkins 4 for 5. Doherty 5 for 7. Jordan 6 for 8. There's the first half scoring. Hale 1 for 1. Peterson 3 for 4. Popson 1 for 1. And Joe Wolf may have to walk home. He's 0 for 1.
And that was that easy shot at the end of the half.
A shot by Grant that won't fall. The ball still contested, and Sam Perkins digs it out for North Carolina.
Let's see what kind of intensity both of these clubs have to start the half. For all intents and purposes, North Carolina's going to win this ball game.
Sam Perkins just committed his second straight turnover to start the second half.
Dean Smith can't be happy with that. Clemson looks like they're still fired up to play.
Anthony Jenkins, Murray German. Mark Campbell, the little guy down inside, gets his 4th point of the night. 52-32, North Carolina.
Campbell hawking Hale pretty well, but doesn't have that blazing quickness. Put a lot of pressure on him. Well, Jordan had good position.
Michael Jordan. What a piece of work. Michael Jordan has 16.
Michael needed a little bit of help defensively to go ahead and handle Jordan down that low.
Michael Jordan jumped in the air, turned around and hung there until the computer said fire. Michael Jordan has 16 points. Matt Doherty handling it in traffic, lobs to Brad Doherty, and the shot there for him. Brad Doherty has a dozen.
Brad Doherty has such a nice touch inside, just so soft.
They list him at 6'11", I'll swear he's 7 feet tall. His season career high, 22 points. He's on a dozen right now.
Bounces it down the sideline to Jenkins, knocked away Brad Doherty, the big guy going to his hands and knees to try to knock the ball away and save it after he knocked it away, but he couldn't do so. 56-32. Michael inbounds the ball to Jarman at the hash mark along the left. Tigers in blue going to the north goal here in the second half. Campbell bounces to Jenkins. Jump shot right corner. Good. Anthony Jenkins. He's got his 3rd field goal of the ball game. 56-34 at the other end. It's Jordan from 10 feet. Basket counts. And Dave Dodge said there was a foul underneath. Horace Grant. It will be number 4 on the Sparta, Georgia freshman. That's the first team foul of the second half against Clemson. And Jordan will go to the line with a chance for the 3-point play. You know, in his last 8 games, Henry, Michael has averaged 20.8 points a ball game, 7.9 rebounds. He enters tonight's game as the 12th leading scorer in Carolina history. Free throw is up and good. He's now got 19 points in the ball game. 59-34, coming off his season's high of 29 in that win over LSU Sunday. Campbell caught in the double team, in trouble, got it away to Jenkins. Jenkins down the right sideline, jump shot, good. Anthony Jenkins, the sophomore from Spartanburg High School, has got the hot hand right now for the Tigers. 59-36, whistle and a midcourt foul called on Mark Campbell. Campbell picks up his 2nd foul. It'll be the 2nd team foul against Clemson, and Carolina will get the ball out of bounds along the west sideline, right in front of press row. Jordan straddled the hash mark.
Interesting to see Horace Grant still in the ballgame with his 4th foul, Woody. I guess at this point, Coach Foster feels like he needs him in there enough to test that 4th foul.
Inside pass almost kicked away from Hale to Perkins. Sam recovered and scores. Perkins now with 14 points, 61-36. 17-15 to play in the ball game. Heels going after win number 18. Here's Jarman against Perkins. Layup is good. Murray Jarman, Clemson's leading scorer in the first half, now with 12. 61-38. Carolina by 23. Hale coming off the right sideline will move to the midcourt area to set the offense for Carolina. Sophomore from Jinx, Oklahoma, taking over for the injured Kenny Smith. Gets a nice return pass from Matt Doherty and rolls in the layup. What a great pass by Matt Doherty to find Steve Hale in all that traffic moving down the lane. And Hale's got 4.
How can you be any hotter than the Tar Heels if it's 5 of 5 this half, Woody? But Clemson's at 4 in a row, too.
Jenkins to Michael. Michael left to the circle to Jarman. Jump shot off the left baseline. No good. First miss by the Tigers. Rebounded Michael. He follows up. No good. A little strong. Michael puts it back up. No good. Perkins slapped it off the glass so he could recover the rebound. Here's Hale to Matt Doherty. Stops. Pops off the glass. Good. Oh, boy, the Heels are really cooking. 65-38. Carolina now by 27. 16 minutes plus left to go as Bill Foster in his 9th year as the head man at Clemson stands and watches his Tigers try to run their offense against Carolina's man-to-man. Jarman left to the circle to Grant. Air ball from the foul line. Rebounded by Hale. Here come the Heels to Matt Doherty down the left sideline. He'll take it to the middle. Stops, gives to Brad Doherty. To Michael Jordan in the right corner. Goes low to Perkins. Sam turns off the baseline. Fakes Grant up for the shot. No good off the front of the rim. First miss of the half for Carolina. Michael, bounce pass away to Campbell. 65-38. Bounce pass inside intended for Jarman. Doherty knocked it away. Jarman recovers, however. They slap it off the glass, and it's Jordan who recovers right in front of Bill Foster. Foster's a little upset, and he's continuing to talk to Dave Dodge, even as Jordan came right over in front of him to look for the pass. Carolina now setting its offense at the south end of the Greensboro Coliseum. It's Matt Doherty holding high. Lob to Jordan right of the lane. Turns, falls away. Won't go. Perkins mistimed his jump. Goes back. Lost it. Ball tapped up in the air. Controlled by Michael. Outlet comes to Campbell. 2-on-2 break for Clemson. Campbell taking it deep into the right corner. Will not try to get a bucket out of this. Michael to Grant. Now they move it around the perimeter of the defense. The shot by Jenkins is no good, and the foul is on Matt Doherty. Doherty stuck a hand in on Anthony Jenkins' jump shot. It'll be the first team foul of the second half against Carolina, the second one on Matt Doherty, and there will be 2 shots coming for Anthony Jenkins out of Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Pace has been a little heavy here the last couple of minutes, and Sam Perkins just flashed the tired signal. Now you're going to get some relief for Sam and Brad Doherty as Thompson and Wolf return, Woody. But so far, the ballgame, this crowd in Greensboro has kind of been lackluster all night. There's not been a whole lot of excitement, and it really is a shame because it overshadows the incredible performance of shooting that Carolina's done in this ballgame. The Tar Heels have not been hotter all year. It's just that the excitement level hadn't been there because Clemson so far has not been the worthy opponent that a lot of people had come here to see.
Henry, it's like a diamond cutter at work. It ain't real exciting, but boy, he does a heck of a job. If he makes one mistake, it costs a lot of money. So, you're not getting a lot of excitement out of it, but just like the butcher. I mean, when I was a small boy, I used to go with my mother to the grocery store. I marveled at watching the guy cut up a chicken. Carolina has cut Clemson up tonight like that butcher a long time ago.
Tar Heels red hot shooting still, Woody. 6 for 8 in the second half. Heels are 75%. Clemson 4 for 12. 33% in the ball game here in the second half.
And Matt Doherty has already tonight moved ahead of George Karl into 4th place on Carolina's all-time assist list. He started the ball game tonight only 3 behind Karl, and Doherty in the first half had already matched that. Here's Hale, Carolina controlling with a 25-point lead. Wolf at the foul line to Peterson, right corner, jump shot on its way, count it! Buzz Peterson. Well, I want to tell you, seeing his jump shot return is like the first ray of sunshine at the end of the winter. 67-40. Michael to Jenkins for Clemson now as the Tigers control over on the left side. Now they move it against the 1-3-1 zone to the right. Jenkins cross court to Michael. Now it goes to Jarman at the baseline. Now to Campbell, top of the circle. Campbell working to the right to Michael, to Jenkins. They're trying to find a hole, but so far none has appeared. Michael will shoot over the zone off the front of the rim, no good. Hobson tapped it into Peterson. Long lead pass to Jordan, threw it away. Buzz wanted to go for something quick, Henry, and it was almost there, but his pass was behind Michael for Carolina's 3rd turnover.
Maybe we're grasping at straws if you want to try to find something positive for Clemson, though. Anthony Jenkins has 6 points in the second half. Maybe he thinks that maybe he's visualizing he's playing Duke. Had 26 points against Duke on Saturday. His second best output of his career, 30 points against the Blue Devils last year.
Jump shot by Anthony Jenkins. Jenkins now with 11 points, 67-42. Carolina by 25. Hale to Wolf, top of the circle, back to Peterson. Peterson will penetrate from 13 feet off the glass. Good. Buzz Peterson has 10 points And for the Asheville junior, he is 5 of 6, 69-42. Carolina back to the zone now, 1-3-1. Jenkins on the left, comes cross court to Campbell, weak side, jump shots up, good. Mark Campbell knocks in the jumper from 20, 14. Or check it for Campbell, that's only his third field goal. Buzz Peterson, left corner, good screen, pops it. Peterson is 6 of 7 rather, and he's got 12. And for Buzz, very quickly checking as the score goes to 71-44. He had only a couple of double-figure games this year, Henry. They have been early against Stanford and Dartmouth, 15 and 10. Here's Jenkins off the back of the rim, no good. Grant chases it down along the right sideline. Carolina by 27, 71-44 with 12:40 to play in the ball game. Michael coming out of the right corner to Jenkins, now to Campbell over on the left. Carolina back to a man-to-man defense, having been zoned the last couple of Tiger trips down floor. Jarman turns on Wolf, no basket. Foul is on Joe Wolf of the Tar Heels. Kohler, Wisconsin freshman's got his first second-team foul against Carolina as Perkins, Doherty, and Doherty all come back for Carolina.
Buzz Peterson going out. You can hear the crowd screaming for Buzz. Wait a minute. Buzz is going back in. Dean Smith says, I didn't want you to come out, Buzz. So he's going back into the ball game. I'm not so sure that, let's see if they're going to let him come back. It could be some, there's a discussion about this in the Maryland game last night, Woody, when you check out of the ball game until there's a live ball situation. They're going to rule in this case, though, I think, that he had not checked out. Because they're letting him back into the ball game. John Clark, said, come on in.
What he told him was the player who came in had evidently come in for the wrong guy. He was not supposed to come out, and so I think with a 27-point lead as Clemson throws the ball away, John Clockerty kind of said, okay. If it had been real tight and Foster had protested, they might have made him go back until the ball had actually been put back in play.
Well, you saw that happen last night in that Clemson, the Virginia-Maryland game, and that is the rule. If you go out, got to wait for a live ball before you come back in.
Perkins knocked away. We got a whistle and the foul's on Chris Michael at Clemson. It'll be his first, and that's going to be the third team foul of the second half against the Tigers.
What I was about to say about Buzz Peterson, boy, you're talking about his shooting comeback. You could just see it in Buzz over the games where he was in that slump. He talked about how he wasn't happy at the beginning of the year and how he had gone through a period of not being happy here of late. But tonight, it's almost like all this pressure's been lifted off his shoulders, and he's having the opportunity to play a lot with Kenny Smith injured. Buzz Peterson answering the call, Woody.
Perkins from Matt Doherty. Layup is no good. Tap followed by Brad Doherty, no good. He went right back up, lost it, ball knocked away. Perkins recovers, and he's fouled. Raymond Jones, I believe, got him. Jones had just come back in the ball game. Yes, it will be Jones. It's his second, and it's the fourth team foul against Clemson. 71-44. Perkins will go to the line to shoot a pair. He missed his first one in the ball game and then hit his next four. Sam is closing in, Henry, on Billy Cunningham as Carolina's all-time rebound leader. Coming into tonight's ball game, he needed only 18 to surpass the Kangaroo Kid. He's got 3 in the first half. 71-44. He'll have another one coming. Or you'll have 2 shots coming here. The first one is good. 72-44. That's 15 points now. And, of course, he's 84 points coming into the ball game tonight from overtaking Larry Miller as Carolina's 5th all-time leading scorer.
It's almost like something happened to Sam. We were in New York, Woody, right after Christmas. He has just been on a tear since the Madison Square Garden Holiday Tournament. Sam Perkins showing that he is a true All-American.
Well, you remember early December he was the MVP in the Stanford Invitational. 11:58 to play in the ball game. There's timeout on the floor with the score. Carolina 73, Clemson 44.
Hunter Chevrolet invites you to the
Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. Our entire crew on hand tonight. Jerry Brown is our engineer, Bob Woodruff our statistician, and John Dahl is our production assistant. And, of course, Diane Smith is our network manager, and Jim Hefner our executive producer. Clemson's got control of the basketball, and the Heels are going to apply pressure in the backcourt, Henry.
Tar Heels shooting 9 for 13 in the second half, 69%. Clemson 38%, 6 for 16.
Across the timeline come the Tigers. Warren Wallace handling the ball now. Clemson's got Chris Michael, Murray Jarman, Warren Wallace, Anthony Jenkins, and Raymond Jones in the lineup. Carolina's got Buzz Peterson, Brad Doherty, Sam Perkins, Matt Doherty, and Michael Jordan. Man-to-man defense. Out front it goes to Wallace. He almost walked with the ball with Jordan right on him in the midcourt area defensively. 11 and a half minutes to play. 73-44. Jarman right of the lane. Oh, he jumped up and came back down. Brad Daugherty's playing what I like to call the windmill defense on him. Brad's standing there. See one of those old windmills and everything turned? Brad's just got arms and everything all up in Jarman's face.
Well, Jarman made the turnover, but Bill Foster's very upset at the movement of his ball club right now. The reason that Jarman made that turnover, he was trying to find somebody to throw the ball to, and right now Clemson not moving very well.
Daugherty lobbed inside to Perkins, stripped to the ball by Wallace. 4 turnovers for Carolina. Wallace down, and the foul's on Matt Daugherty. Daugherty stuck a hand in, and Dave Dodd says he got him, so the foul on Daugherty is his 3rd. He becomes the first Tar Heel to pick up 3, and it comes with 11:16 left to play in the ball game. Matt fouled out of 3 ball games a year ago, but I don't believe has come close this year. Matt's having a little bit of a laugh about it. That's the team's 3rd personal foul, and to the line is Wallace. Former East Mecklenburg product out of Charlotte. This is his first one. He'll have another one coming. Warren started 20 games a year ago for Clemson. Missed his 2nd free throw. Clemson, however, comes away with a rebound. It's Jenkins driving to the right of the circle. Now to Michael. Jump shot, 20 feet off the glass. Too strong. Jordan one-hands the rebound on the left baseline. Gets it away to Daugherty. Now it's back to Jordan. Jordan will drive in the lane. 10-foot jumper off the front of the rim. No good. Tapped around. Jenkins down with it for Clemson. Clears it to Michael. Tigers on the run front court. To Warren Wallace. Jump shot. 10 feet. Went in. Popped out. The attempted dunk. No good on the follow. Rebounded Brad Daugherty to Peterson. 2-on-1. Peterson from 10 feet. Count it. Buzz 7 of 8. 75-44. Carolina by 31. Carolina dropping back in the zone now. Wallace across the timeline. Steve Hale getting ready to come back in for Carolina. Jenkins now to Michael. Michael away to Wallace. Over it goes to Jenkins to Jarman. Jump shot off the left baseline is good by the Delray Beach, Florida senior. That's his 14th point of the game. 4 of which have been here in the second half. 75-46 Carolina. Peterson across the timeline. You know, Buzz is having one of those nights today like he had against LSU up at the Meadowlands last year, Henry, we talked so much about on Sunday. Buzz turns off the left baseline. Shot was short, but Jarman draws the foul. Foul on Jarman will be his 1st, and so that will be the 5th team foul against Clemson. And it'll be at the baseline. Well, Gerald Donahue, the umpire, said 1-1, but Carolina's not in the bonus, so Buzz was not fouled in the active shooting. So it will go as a missed shot for Peterson.
I think it went down Woody. I think the foul probably occurred after the shot when Peterson had already released the ball and Jarman maybe banged into him after that.
Peterson's out. Alley-oop, Brad Daugherty. Caught it, came down, laid it up, no good. Whistle foul on Anthony Jenkins. John Clockerty coming out from underneath to give us a call. Yes, the foul on Jenkins is 1st. That's the 6th team foul against Clemson.
We've talked a lot about Buzz Peterson, and why not with the great game he's having. But, you know, we talked in the pregame about the pressure Steve Hale was under. Steve started the game for Kenny Smith, and he's played well tonight. He hadn't scored that many points. Woody had to check. I'm not sure how many he has in the ball game, but I can't remember a couple of baskets. Maybe
who's that?
Talking about Hale.
Hale has 2 buckets.
4 points in the ball game, but he's played a very sound game, and he's had no turnovers, and he's done a good job of quarterbacking the club. So Steve Hale and Buzz Peterson answering the call when they were needed tonight.
While we were giving you that information, Brad Daugherty made both of his free throws. 77-46, 31-point lead for Carolina. Anthony Jenkins double-teamed in the corner to Jones, to Wallace, to Michael. Now back to Wallace. Clemson will reset its offense. Carolina man-to-man here with less than 10 minutes to play. Here's Jones, 15 feet. No good, bounce high. Jordan had the rebound, pushed away. No foul on the play. Brad Daugherty out with it to Steve Hale. Hale comes top of the circle, drives around to the right, beats Matt Daugherty deep in the corner, lobs inside to Perkins. Whistle foul on Raymond Jones for pushing off. Jones picks up his 3rd. It'll be the 7th team foul, so Perkins will go to the line to shoot 1-1. Matt Daugherty, who just fed that ball inside, we talked about the fact that he had replaced George Karl on Carolina's all-time career assist list, now moving into 4th place. But, you know, on Sunday, Henry, Matt Daugherty surpassed 1,000 points in his career. And he becomes only the 5th Carolina player to have scored 1,000 points, pulled down 300 rebounds, and handed out better than 300 assists. Larry Miller, Charlie Scott, Walter Davis, and Michael O'Coran were the other 4, and so that's some pretty heavy company. That's living right up at the top of the Ritz.
Pretty good for a guy they call a role player, huh?
77-46, Perkins at the line. You got it. Sam ready on the first of a 1-1, and it's good. At 17 points now for Sam. He missed his first free throw, but now has hit 7 in a row in this ball game, shooting 81% at the line. Carolina made 14 of 16 at the free throw line on the night, and has hit its last 8 in a row, going from the late stages of the first half. Sam ready on the next one, and this one's good also. 79-46. Perkins with 18. That's his average, or just above it, 17-6. Joe Wolf's in the lineup now for Carolina, replacing Brad Daugherty. Wallace, long lead to Michael down on the right. Back out front it goes to Wallace. Clemson controlling. 79-46, Carolina by 33. Michael bounces low to Raymond Jones, turns on Wolf, puts it up off the glass, good. Raymond Jones with his first field goal. 79-48, Carolina. 9 minutes to play as Hale gives it to Jordan deep in the left corner for the Eagles. Now to Matt Daugherty, jump shot from 20 feet, good. Matt Daugherty with 9. 81-48. Or the way the Heels are playing tonight, looks like everybody who's throwing it up is seeing it go in, and that's why Cliff Morris and Timo Makinen can hardly wait for their turn. Shot bounces off the back of the rim. No good. Foul on the play, and I believe it's on Anthony Jenkins for fouling Michael Jordan. That will be number 2 on Jenkins, and so we'll trek down to the south end of the building. Buzz Peterson has come back into the lineup now for Carolina, replacing Matt Daugherty, and David Popson, the freshman from Ashley, PA, has replaced Sam Perkins.
Kenny Smith down on the end of the bench down there congratulating Matt Daugherty. Matt goes all the way to the end of the bench shaking everybody's hand. I don't know what I guess they're congratulating each other on the performance so far. Surely they're not celebrating a win with 8:37 left to go, Woody, but looks pretty sure they're going to get their 18th win.
Jordan misses the free throw. I think we're getting ready to see the regulars for the last time here in just a few minutes. Jordan down with a rebound. Jordan and Hale, the only 2 starters left out there. Cecil Exum is in the lineup now for the Tar Heels. Here's Exum over on the left side. Exum drives the lane, lost the ball, knocked back outside. Jordan will chase it down and keeps his dribble alive. Had to go right down and dribble it almost off his shoe tops. Hale, right corner, got it! I'm telling you, everybody who's throwing it up is seeing it go in. It's one of those nights, 83-48. And there'll be those nights at the other end of the spectrum, too, where you throw everything up and it rims in and comes out. But Carolina back on defense inside to Jarman. Jarman up for the jump shot in the lane. No good. Foul, however, called on David Popson. Popson commits his second personal foul. And now Jordan will come out as Peterson is going in. Standing ovation for Michael Jordan. And I believe we have indeed seen the last of the regulars tonight. Jordan with 19. Perkins with 18. Brad Daugherty with 14. 14 for Buzz Peterson. And 9 points for Matt Daugherty. Well, Peterson's still in the ball game, but so is Steve Hale, and he had 6, 83-48. Free throw is up and good by Murray Jarman.
Well, imagine how Kenny Smith must feel right now after seeing the Tar Heels go out and play like this. He feels like he wants to be out there in that Carolina blue and white tonight, Woody. I was talking to Kenny before the ball game. He was sitting down on the bench.
Jarman missed his next free throw, tapped outside, recovered Carolina. Here's Buzz Peterson, layup good! Jarman was there and got a hand on it. But Murray, I must admit, try as you will try, it's the Tar Heels night. 85-49.
What I was about to say, Kenny Smith I asked him, I said, how you feel, Kenny? This is right when the Tar Heels are getting ready to come out. He said, I feel like I should have on a uniform. But he was down there in that cast, and he looked kind of sad. But he'll be back before the year's out, I can guarantee it.
Here's Michael driving baseline. Short jumper is good, and there's a foul on the play, and it's either Popson or Wolf. They were both there. John Clockerty coming out from underneath, and I think it's David Popson. Yes, it's David Popson. It'll be his 3rd. And for the Tar Heels, that will be their 5th team foul. And to the line will go Chris Michael. Chance for the 3-point play. Michael Jordan went 8 of 12 from the field tonight, 3 of 4 at the line. Perkins was 5 of 8 from the field, 8 of 9 from the line. Brad Daugherty 6 of 9 and 2 of 2. Free throw missed by Michael, rebounded by Popson off to Hale. Steve's having to go a lot now because, remember, this would be the spot he would normally be playing, and he's got to stay in there even though he's the starter. Peterson on the left. Exum now to Hale. Back door to Exum. Jump shot. Good! Cecil Exum off the right baseline. 87-51, a 36-point Carolina lead.
Woody, it was meant to be tonight. There's no question about that.
Cliff Morrison and Timo Makinen are being talked to right now on the Tar Heel bench by Dean Smith. Michael out of the right corner. Knocks in his second straight field goal. He's got 8 for the ball game. Here's Hale giving it away to Wolf. Now back to Peterson. Wouldn't go that time. Buzz missed the shot from out on the right. Rebounded Jarman. Hands it off to Wallace. Lead pass to Jenkins. Jump shot off the glass is no good. Jarman. Basket interference. Jarman tried to go up for the tap in. Actually, a dunk tap, couldn't make it. Right now, an official timeout being taken. 6 minutes, 23 seconds to play. With timeout on the floor, the score, Carolina 87, Clemson 50 in that. Lost by only 1 to Virginia, lost by 2 to Duke, by 7 to Georgia Tech, and only by 13 to Maryland. Inside pass knocked away into press row, and it'll still be Carolina's basketball.
Carolina's 14 for 21 in the second half, 67%. The regulars, though, Woody, shot 71% before going out, 35 for 49. And Clemson just having a tough night at the hoop, 10 for 26, 38%. Carolina's biggest lead, by the way, has been 36 points.
Buzz Peterson, 8 of 11 for the ball game. To Exum, to Popson, got away. Wolf saves it at the right baseline. To Steve Hale, top of the circle. Now back to Popson, got away, intercepted by Michael for Clemson, rather. 5 turnovers here in the second half for Carolina. Michael all the way into the right corner for Clemson. Now to Wallace, to Jones. Now it goes to Jenkins. Jenkins shot partially blocked by Exum, recovered. Shot good by Anthony Jenkins. The burst of applause that went up was the reporting of Cliff Morris and Timo Makinen to the scorer's table. 87-55. Exum Hale off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Jones. 5.5 minutes to play. Here's Michael, jump shot, right corner, good. Chris Michael at the other end for Clemson. 87-57. Carolina lead is 30. Steve Hale to Joe Wolf. Wolf in the backcourt with it. Murray Jarman picking him up to Hale. Ball got away, but Hale saved it at the sideline. Long lead pass. Threw it over everybody's head. Was trying to go to Popson. Threw it away. And now Cliff Morris, the junior from Durham, up from last year's JV team, and Timo Makinen, the junior from Leyte, Finland, are going into the basketball game. Cliff's had 1 field goal to his credit this year. That was scored the Boston University game down in Charlotte. Timo has yet to score, although he set a career high of 4 rebounds in the Wake Forest game in Chapel Hill. So you know what the crowd wants to see right now. Out of the left corner, Chris Michael. First the right corner, then the left corner, and it's 87-59. Buzz Peterson caught in the double team, gets it to Popson, now to Makinen. Timo gives it up to Buzz Peterson, who works against Michael in the midcourt area. Clemson man-to-man defensively. Peterson moving left wing, bounces it to Exum. Now comes to Popson, drops it back to Buzz Peterson. Peterson looking inside for Timo, can't get him the ball. Buzz will take it in, scoots it up, and it goes. My goodness, he was driving left of the lane, rolled it up underhanded, and it is good. He is 9 of 12 for the ball game, and Buzz Peterson will go to the line. Clemson foul. We didn't get it, but we'll have to wait and see. That's 18 points for Buzz Peterson with 4:33 left to play. Buzz's career high, of course, the 18 against LSU a year ago, so that's matched it, and he's now got 19. Buzz Peterson with a career high of 19. The foul was on Chris Michael of Clemson a moment ago. 90-59 the score. Michael fighting through the double team, feeds inside to Raymond Jones. Layup is good by Jones, only his second field goal. 90-50, 61 rather. They're slow changing the board. 29-point Carolina lead. Peterson lobs it over to Exum. Jump shot, no good. Tap follow, no good. Timo's got it. Follows up, wouldn't go. Cliff Morris with it, works baseline, put it up, and it was blocked by McCants. Glenn McCants, the Columbia sophomore, swatting away Cliff Morris's baseline jumper. 90-61. Joe Wolf will return for Carolina. Popson is coming out of the lineup.
What a difference a day makes, Woody. Talking about Buzz Peterson's 19 points. You know, just last week he was unhappy, was unsure of himself, having a few personal problems. And, you know, most of those points tonight have come from the number 1 guard position, the position he started off the season unhappy at, saying that he wanted to move to number 2 and number 3, Woody. And tonight he's played a lot at 1 and done a great job of it.
Exum going baseline, feeds. Timo turns in the lane. Oh, it wouldn't go, but there's a foul on the play. Boy, this crowd was right on the very edge of its seat. And Timo will go to the foul line. Now on the year, he is 0 for 4 from the field and has not had a free throw opportunity. Foul again was on Chris Michael. It's his third with 3:48 to play. 90-61. Listen to this crowd if it goes. It's up. Oh, off the front of the rim, no good. Clemson comes down with a rebound. Knocked away by Joe Wolf. Wolf comes up with a save near midcourt to Exum. Now to Peterson. 3:40. Now to Morris at the right wing. Timo comes to the high post. Now to Exum, top of the circle. Now to Peterson, lobs it to Makinen. Back to Peterson. Goes to Wolf. Over to Exum. Exum driving into the lane. In the double team to Timo. Blocked. And we got a whistle and a foul. Called on Glenn McCants of Clemson. So Timo goes to the line. Well, this has got to be so frustrating for the Clemson players. Here they are getting beat 39 points. Carolina's got its reserves in, and the crowd is going bananas every time Makinen touches the ball.
The lead right now, Woody, is so big that the ball game really is not that big a factor, but, you know, it's a great opportunity to see Timo score. They want to see it right now.
Another free throw. Listen to the crowd. It's up. Oh, it didn't go. Got another one coming for the young man who played at Henderson, Advanced Academy in Henderson for Al DePorter. Ready on the next one. Got it! Listen to this crowd on a Timo Makinen free throw. Timeout on the floor. 3:23 to play on the ball game with the score. Carolina 91, Clemson 61. Getting back at the Coliseum in Greensboro, where this crowd of better than 15,000 came to its feet, just roared when Timo Makinen knocked in his first point of this 1983-84 season. Now, if you think that was something, and boy, the bench loved it just as much as everybody else did. I thought that was something. Wait till he scores a field goal.
I thought they were going to give the team ball. They didn't stop the game, have a ceremony for it.
91-61, 30-point Carolina lead. Clark Bynum has come in the ball game now from Sumter. He's handling the ball to Warren Wallace. Jump shot from 8 feet is good by Warren Wallace. Wallace now with 8 points, 91-63. Makinen running the baseline, and his inbounds pass is stolen by McCants. Deflected by Jones, recovered Wallace, shots up no good. They battle for it inside, and it's finally McCants who goes up and scores. And the foul's been called on Makinen, I believe. Glenn McCants from Columbia gets his first field goal of the ball game. And now he'll have a chance for the three-point play as Timo picks up his first personal foul. 91-65 the score. Don't forget our airtime Friday night from Charlotte will be 6:30 for night number 1 of the last North-South doubleheader. Free throw no good. They battle for the rebound. It's Makinen saving it at the baseline. Comes out on his own dribble. Drops it off to Buzz Peterson. 91-65. 2:45 left to play in the ball game. Here's Peterson. We got an offensive foul called against Buzz Peterson.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, Woody.
Peterson with his first personal foul, and that will be the 6th team foul, I believe. No, it's the 7th team foul, but it's a player control foul, so no free throws. Michael off the left baseline, no good. Tapped by Makinen and recovered Jones. He powers back up, won't go, and the foul is called on Dave Popson, and that will be number 4 on Popson. Stops the clock with 2:33 left to play in the basketball game. So the Tar Heels are going to go 18-0 on this season, and 8-0 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Now, the Tar Heels have seen every team in the league now, including Wake Forest twice. And the Heels will start to recycle around the ACC next Thursday night in Charlottesville, Virginia. Jones misses his free throw. That's the voice of John Clockerty, the referee at tonight's game, saying that Raymond Jones has got one more free throw left. Raymond shoots 71% at the line. He's missed 4 games this year. Missed it. Hobson and DeCants fight for it, and it's McCants, rather, and it's finally out of bounds off McCants, says David Dodge, and it'll be Carolina's basketball. Clemson pressuring in the backcourt. Popson inbounds to Peterson. Peterson caught in the double team. Tried to get it back to Popson. Went off the backboard. Picked up by Makinen. Makinen gets it to Peterson. Buzz goes to the floor. And we get a jump ball. Peterson was on the floor with McCants. McCants reaching in to get hand on the basketball and tie him up. 2:21 left to play. 91-65. We'll be going to the dressing room after the game is over to talk hopefully with Buzz Peterson and after we get a few words from Coach Dean Smith. Jump shot by Bynum is good. Clark Bynum, the senior from Sumter, gets his first field goal of the game. 91-67. Carolina's reserves having trouble with it in the backcourt. Makinen's pass to Popson, now to Exum, now to Peterson, going down the right sideline. Comes back now to Popson. Popson goes to Exum off the left baseline. Jump shot is good. 93-67. Cecil Exum with 4. Minute 45 to play. Bynum out front to Jones. Jones from 20 feet. Good. Raymond now with 6 points. 93-69. Exum to Peterson. Carolina coming quickly front court. Peterson away to Morris. Morris drives. Reverse layup is good. Cliff Morris gets a reverse layup for his second field goal of the season. And it's 95-69. Wallace on the right side. Knocked away. Ball loose on the floor. Morris comes up with it. Gets it to Popson. Then it's knocked away by Jones. It'll still be Carolina's ball with 1:18 left. Hales returning to the lineup now, replacing Peterson for Carolina. You know, Cecil's been the man quite often in his career, Henry, that's put the Tar Heels over the 100-point mark, or at least matched it. They're 5 away now. Let's see what happens. Pass inside intended for Makinen. Knocked away, recovered Wallace. Here come the Tigers. Wallace against Hale. All the way off the glass. Good. Warren Wallace. He's got 10. 4 here in the second half. 95-71. Hale lead pass to Exum. 2-on-1 break. Exum had the ball knocked away. Bynum tried to run it down. Did nicely. Saved it before going into the press table to Chris Michael. 45 seconds remaining to be played. 95-71. Carolina by 24. Could have been much worse than that. The regulars left with, about 8.5 minutes to go. Here's the jump shot off the baseline by Wallace. Wallace, averaging only 2.5 points coming into the game, has got 12. Here's Exum going down against Bynum, and he's fouled by Bynum. Stopping the clock with 28 seconds left to play. 2 shots coming for Cecil Exum on Clark Bynum's first personal foul. Again, we'll tell you that Buzz Peterson and Michael Jordan with 19 share high scoring honors. Sam Perkins 18, Brad Daugherty 14, Matt Daugherty 9. 6 for Steve Hale, 4 for Cecil Exum. Those are the leading scorers. Exum's got a chance to add to his now, and Cecil does that. 96-73. Exum with 5.
Could have been the type game that the Tar Heels needed to blow off a little steam, Woody. Now the North-South coming up again before the Thursday night encounter next week against Virginia.
97-73. Exum now with 6 with 25 seconds to go. Across the timeline comes Wallace. Clemson will drop to 2-5 in the league with its 5th straight loss, 11-7 overall, and it's Jones scoring over on the right side on the alley-oop. We got a whistle and a foul in the backcourt on Raymond Jones, and Timo Makinen will go to the foul line. 97-75. Here's the score. Dean Smith, I think, thinking there should have been 2 shots. He doesn't think Clemson was going for the basketball. One thing about Coach Smith, he's just as much into this game right now with his reserves on the playing floor as he would be with the starters. He says it's important to him and important to them that he do that. Makinen misses the free throw, rebounded by Clemson with 12 seconds. Michael front court for the Tigers, away to Wallace. Wallace jump shot, right corner, no good. Popson and McCants fight for it, and it's out of bounds off Popson, so it'll belong to Clemson. 5 seconds remaining. Don't forget, we'll be talking with Coach Smith and probably Buzz Peterson in the dressing room. Michael, right corner, shot partially blocked. Hale tapped outside, recovered by Michael. There will go the horn. The ball game is over. Carolina has won by 22 and notching its 8th straight win in the ACC and 18th overall without a loss.
But for you, there's no one else who does it quite the way you do. Here's to you, for all you do, you know the king of fears is
2004 assists. Holly Farms will contribute $1,000 to the Atlantic Coast Conference to be distributed to the institutions under a conference-approved plan in the names of these two players. At the end of the season, each player receiving a plaque from Holly Farms recognizing this honor. So Michael Jordan with an outstanding night. Sam Perkins had 18 points also. Brad Doherty had 14. Matt Doherty had 9. Cecil Exum had 6. Hale had 6. Buzz Peterson with a career-high 19. Again,